Okay, go on. Luke is going to take us through some mixed stuff again. So,
this is a continuation on from 5 weeks, longer. We've just been really busy in the office. Can I close that? Just a sec.
Just a sec, yep. And for the other one.
And that one.
Yep.
Last time I wasn't too successful with getting a mech system. Due to the, I'm not sure if I fixed it, but in our template, the user family set up incorrectly.
Is it
yeah, or I raised it with Ryan and said that it should be fixed by the next release, which was, I think, just a couple of weeks ago. So it should fix. So basically, the diffuser connection was set up as return air. So really, I've just done a simple layout with a simple grid layout, and from last time I created a reference plane and attached those grills to that reference plane, which is indicative of the ceiling level. Time the architect doesn't create for that RP. Do change if they do delete that. If we do host our diffuser on that ceiling, it's space-based, and they delete that ceiling and then put a new ceiling in at a different height, it won't associate again.
Yeah.
And so it'll be I think it's unreferenced as a host.
Yeah.
It becomes unreferenced. So we'll create an RCP level and it's that, so that if you do have to globally change it, all those diffusers will move with it.
Samples are we always reference. Often than not, the ceiling component is coming pretty late. The architects will do the ceiling based on the initial issue of the models.
Yeah.
So we normally don't get the ceiling yet when we started it.
So when you do a combined model, or if you're doing a combined services, and you have several models, you track each other's ceiling levels, because they should be the same ceiling. So you're going to have a reference plane, and have a reference plane, and the six have a ceiling. Do you keep track of where your ceilings are to make sure yours is the same as his, and his the same as his, etc.?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And I know, you know, it only means it's going to be whatever.
Could I just ask, why don't you use a level while using a reference plane? Once you put a...
No, you can put a level in. It's the same.
Then
you can track it.
You can track.
Or you can put it in a
copy monitor.
The level is difficult, you know why? Because when you have multiple stepping ceilings, then
well, yeah,
the level getting confusing, right?
Yeah, but it's only one ceiling.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, there might be multiple, like for it's 0.4.
But our structural guys are always looking down. These guys are always looking up. The ceilings go all over the place. Yeah.
So basically, when I create that those two levels, I did a filter on the architectural and displayed the ceiling grid as two different colours, which showed up the different ceiling heights. I'm not sure if anyone remembers that. So two ceiling filters. You know that they're 2.4 and 2.7. If you know there's multiple levels, and so I did a filter based on ceilings and a height offset, and you can say if it's 2.4, it's one colour, 2.7 another colour. Just working that you are attaching those grill elements to the right reference plane.
And the method, the way of doing that is you just go set the reference plane
Yeah.
And then your family,
No, you don't have to set, your,
yeah,
you can do that, but when I do a diffuser, I just go set, place on where it's playing, and then you select the,
yeah,
and then come up there if the reference plane's named.
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So your workflow to draw all your ducts, then
Grill layout,
then do a grill layout, or do a grill layout,
grill layout,
yeah,
and then ducts,
and then flexi ducts.
and then flex duct.
Terminals first.
Yeah,
Air grills.
yeah.
Yeah, depends on the job sometimes, the engineer will
Oh, the
layout
single
first.
line, they might do a single
Yeah,
line,
yeah.
duct layout. So,
So
yeah,
often the grills don't come in till very late stage.
not really, no.
Johnny's in the house.
So, at the moment, yes, I've really done a VAV system with a perimeter zone, just have these 4 diffusers that supplying this perimeter zone here. The is that you, this is a REVIT method where you do your diffuse layout. You can just do one single line duct or single segmented duct and flex it up. So free systems, and we can just oh, this isn't going to work. No, I don't like that for every flex duct. So
No, they have to big it, isn't it?
yeah, usually it's bigger.
What is it?
So the duct segment, you got different setups for duct segments. So you got radius with the shoe branch, flange square with the that's what that's set up as, and you can edit and create different types. So if you create a flange with a branch, so I just duplicated that and under preferences, this is where you control like those takeoffs, whether they're T's or they're taps, or whether both a radius or a square bend, or you can adjust the transition whether it's a default 15-degree or the families that are low here. So you can, if you just want them to be 45s as a default, you can override them individually if you want to, but that's just the automatic preference that REVIT will choose.
So how they overcome multiple systems in the layout?
Like if you had a kitchen exhaust duct and a radius bends, you could create. It's up to you if you want to. If you create different setups for different systems, if you want. I wanted to create a square bend, but I want it to be a tap. You can say the preferred function type is a tap, but then you make sure that jump is a shoe branch. You get out here is the square T, so you can't. That would highlight if you did choose T. It swaps between 2.
Yeah.
So, and that's under that family. That category is for a T, and that's why it will treat 1. If you do any crosses, you can, as I said, you can change those transition families.
The tap's pretty common.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why the T. I don't know why we have a T. Which I don't like that, but yeah. So okay, I'll change that entire run to
So the flexi ducts always connect to a spigot. When you say it's that.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So if I do now, it should work. So I'm used to clicking right clicking on those connectors, and gives you those options there if you want to draw a duct. Placeholder like a single line, like a model line, but it has all the properties of a duct, size and everything, flow. More of an engineering tool, so they can do a markup of a building of a duct run, and then you convert it to a three-dimensional duct later on. So if we go systems flex duct, I'll try it again, and it should. I don't know what it is. Flex duct. Sorry. So the flex duct, if you go edit type, you can have a preferred junction type as well. So that should be tap.
So the tap is a spigot.
Yeah, I don't think it's this. Yeah, it's big. It should have damper on it, but diffusers have got dampers on it. The Platinum box.
But isn't that common flexi?
Yeah.
Why isn't it in the template?
By default. This isn't the latest template, but it should be. If I go load family, drive, application, REVIT.
But that's still the normal
Oricon.
flexible ducts connected to, isn't it? That little maybe different symbols of that. The little spigot come off the.
They have a little damper on it.
It's not what is being shown.
No. So that's fine. Take damper. Round take off with damper. So that's it should be.
That's one I would normally put in when you are.
Tap. So now that damp is loaded in with the or the tape with the dampers loaded in, I can select that now. This is another thing that bugs me. It's not square to the duct. But anyway.
Maybe back that next time.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the difference between that one and the other one that you had?
I was going to show the see, that one shows a little spigot, a little damper. The other didn't.
Have that.
Yeah. In saying that, these diffusers have got spigots on the box. So when we models, the spigot's not on the grill itself. It's on the takeoff of the main duct, because you group all the spigots together. That didn't work too good. So grouped together, so there's a common access panel underneath all of them, so they can access multiple spigot takeoffs.
So that way is not correct then, having the definitely.
Oh, so it's just a type of grill, I guess. Yeah, but you can turn the visibility of that off. So option there. So if you look and see this parameter here, a damper on and off, you can select that. So basically that's the set we have for a Slayer terminal and the associated flex duct spigot connecting to the main branch. And the airflow on these grills, delete it a second. Now there should be airflow. Last time there wasn't any airflow. Okay, there's 1200 litres a second going through that duct now. Sorry? That's 4. That totals the 4.
400 equals to 100.
Because one's complete duct length, it's not broken, that will account for those 4 diffusers. how you split it, will go down to 600. That will be 1200.
Sorry, split.
Showing you that
Oh, right.
you do split the duct because it will reduce in size as it gets towards the end of the run.
Right.
And that's a technique used to do that excising. So either these spigots should be grouped together or whatnot. This is just a process that I'm just showing you. So I've split it between each diffuser. We can you can see that will be 100, 600. Were to size this run. Now we've got flow going through, and the important thing is to have an end cap on the end, so there's no closed, there's no open connection. If I was to delete that and there's no end cap, it will go, oh, okay, there's still flow going through it. That's, I think, been an update with 2014, but previous versions it wouldn't know what the air was in this duct because there's an open connection, but that's good.
But open connection is not an option, is it? It's always closed.
It's closed all the time. Yeah, and if, for instance, if you had a discharge, I don't know for what reason, a discharge in the ceiling space, you should have you should still have a tunnel, some sort of air to the end, so that there's an airflow going out of there that you can specify. You just can't connect, or shouldn't have an open connection. So now you can select. Now you got flow going through those that ductwork. You can select pipe sizing. It's the same sort of thing between the two. And you got various options here where you can choose friction pascals per meter, velocity meters a second, ejection, static rain. Not sure what they, not too experienced that. So you can choose and or. So you can choose combination between the both of those pairs. So if I did, I'd choose velocity, and you'd probably want to ask the engineer what they're basing their sizing on. Can restrict the height and the width if you know that you've got a certain ceiling space, especially with structure, with beams and those constraints, and you might have a zone like a low zone and a I don't know, common zone and a all that sort of all those requirements.
Get wider, but doesn't get
higher.
higher.
So you can make it probably use the height restriction more than you'd use the width restriction.
So do you know by height restriction it means the feet of your duct? Your duct.
What's the justification?
When you say restrict height,
it's a dimension of the height of the internal of the sheet metal size of the duct. So it's not the offset from the floor.
Right?
Yeah. Let's change this to
Duct is 2.5 meters high.
Oh, and keep in mind you want to keep the height of the duct appropriate to the spigot takeoff, because the spigot's round. If I'm to a duct and it's a 300 diameter, well, try and fit so they fit on the side of the duct. I mean, you can get oval spigots, but it's just you make sure those connections fit, because it won't give you a warning if that if I use a height that's smaller than the spigot, it won't give you that warning, I don't think.
Is the 300 the same?
Yeah.
Is that
it'd be ideal to have it a bit bigger.
350.
Yeah, 350, that's right. Yeah. I'm not too sure what these other options are. I've only used nectar size. I guess that's just to do with. So I'll change it to 300. And size.
Whoa.
And it's deleted by.
Actually, it does.
It's deleted my my spigots, which is
To see that.
so
Were they 350s?
maybe that would have been 350s.
I thought that.
They,
Aha!
there you go. That flex duct size is held by the amount of airflow going through there. So if I change, if I change to say 200, see, sorry, I'll just delete that. It's got a built-in size for the connect takeoff, so that's I've got that down to 200, and the flex duct takeoff is a 300 diameter. Is when it was 300 litres a second. It's 350. So I'll change them to 200. I'll do that again because that didn't work out. I wanted to. I'll just leave it. Okay. Tested this out before. But you know, I put the splits in so that it would because if I didn't oh, it's doing that. Sorry.
No, one thing, the spigot never angles it when they install a duct. The way it joins it.
I'll just show you. Oh, yeah. That should be 300. I'll put that family because we're saying that those spigots square onto the duct and they're not tapped in diagonally. It is in Sydney. It might be different overseas or wherever, but you can. This is in the family category type. So this is a duct fitting. You various options under here. You can go. I want tap perpendicular. So tap square onto the duct that it's coming to. So if I look back in now, we'll try to update that one. Also, but flex duct again. That I like it. That's how we do it in Sydney. So yeah, the template has to be
That's
our use.
that you know, when you've got one, sometimes you'll just copy them rather than redraw the flex and all that.
Yeah. So I just tab then. I can select that duct run by just pressing tab. I'll just do that again, that duct sizing. It should be the same settings. Them again. Make also 2 years. I don't know what's going on.
Change so the duct's bigger.
Yeah, change the no, I don't know.
Don't like it.
Yeah. Oh. Maybe if I do them individually. Don't know. Don't know.
So do you know which bits of stuff to get? Or will the engineer do you a basic design and you would be expect to know that that's duct and that's where you're going to put a damper and et cetera, et cetera. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
depends on the engineer and the drafter, I guess, what experience the drafter is like. If they're a designer, more than a tracer, it depends on the engineer, I guess, as well. But
Only that if we're going to get bits and pieces of services work, we would have to be fed that info.
yeah,
Like, because we wouldn't know any.
yeah,
We wouldn't know to put a den or an end cap or anything like that.
yeah. On this is your duct justification, so that for instance, if you're running on the inside of a beam and you want it to step in away from the beam, if there's a beam, just draw a line
On the north
running along here, and you cascade that size down to that justification near the beam. You can choose that justification. You select the duct run, justify. It will give you a control point.
is that the way the air flows?
No. That's I can change that because it just gives it's to make you realize where that justification is coming from. But you're looking where that arrow is pointing, as to where you justify on the grid.
Like a cross section.
So the centre will be there. So I want to justify on the right hand side. So that means that the connectors will be on that right hand side of that duct and step away from that beam. So okay now, and it will delete my. So I don't know what's happening with those speaks. So I'm sorry about that. There's something wrong with it.
Is that a standard flex duct that you would use?
Well,
I've seen it on the drawing sometimes. Where it's only a line.
Yeah.
Do that as well.
In REVIT, you also like this visual of you want to see. There's multiple options in terms of the flexible the visual style.
You could like this or
Our structural framing, when you set the view to course, it turns into a single line.
Yeah, but you got various flex duct and light duct are system families, so you can only you've only types here. You got a rectangular or a round flex duct, and you can change the pattern type. These are fixed. You can't any or change it or for instance, when we were doing flex duct in AutoCAD, we would do a center line and a thin outer line to represent the exterior part of the flex duct. But with how you display flex duct, so the line you can visualize, you can change it, and that's instant space, so it's not changing the overall flex to
I think that one looks better, isn't it? Simple.
curve. Yeah, I use the 45 undefined. So I usually choose a single line like that. So I'll just justification to go. Probably a tool, and I'll just split that duct again. And I'll try and split again. Hopefully, we'll get some results. No. It's not, it's something wrong, I think, with this file.
So do you have to work out the airflow when you give that information out?
It should be supplied by the engineer, whether they give you an airflow for the entire space or give you a quantity of grills and what is per grill.
I would tell you how many grills.
Yeah.
You don't have to work it out.
No.
Based on
No. Yeah. I think there's something wrong with this file because I justified it to the opposite side, and now once I've split the duct, it's
Check the justification again. Is it on the?
well, okay, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys.
On that.
Another tool is when you're on, just for instance, this is being supplied by a handling unit on the roof. Sorry, you can't see on RCP. So that's the building outline, and you want to attach this duct to the subduct on ground level, but you can't see it, and the quickest way to do it, I mean, you can cut a section and draw it going down and all that, but the underlay option where you can say an underlay of the levels. So for ground, that's where my other levels are. Oh, there it is. Oh, that worked then. You can set those ones on the level below, and that will connect the two. So it says you.
So that'll be vertical for you.
Yeah, vertical. So if I go into 3D now, it will. That was around that transition and that dropper, like a I don't know, rise building, and you want to get a duct from the, you've got a, I don't know, a supply on ground floor, and you want to connect it to, or a source duct on ground floor, and it's going up to the roof to connect, and you can underlay it to be, you know, ground floor and connect it up straight away.
Can you do it that way? Just to see things
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
below?
So if I go down to ground floor now, oh, so it was I must have changed it. So you can view the stuff on the roof.
Oh, so like it works either way.
Yeah,
Above and below.
you can control it. Yeah, and that will connect it up.
See that because I have the issue as well. So often that there's a change a certain thing on that level.
Mm-hmm.
But because all these ductworks are interconnected between levels now, if overviews of what's going on above and below, you just moving within that levels, and within that, the marks above and below get shuffled around as well. Right?
Think like a Mexican job.
Yeah, I know really because
Underlay. Gold. He is now.
What else can I show you?
Do you, when we were doing the stuff on Wynyard, and it was either hydraulics or mechanical especially, there was a lot of equipment we didn't know what it was. So to us it was just a sensor or a cooler or something. So we didn't know, and in our libraries we seem to have a lot of choices for equipment. So we told, right, we're going to put a fan unit in or a condenser or something, and then from there it has so many outlets, etc., that you can then plug into. Like there was machinery there,
Yeah.
and we've just chucked machinery in. Like on our one, we'll have to go through our model because we're modelling, and we just put a bit of equipment.
Yeah, from our library,
from a standard library, and out of that whole library, we've gone, okay, it sort of looks like that one.
Yeah.
That looks like, yeah, that's like what a condenser unit would look like. Like we had no idea what it was, and we have connected a system up. We've just put objects in a spot in space. Does that make any sense? There's no system.
Yeah.
Like when you went,
Yeah.
and it's just going.
It's got no logic to it.
Nothing.
But you've shown what was there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
so we've done a spatial thing saying here's a thing, machine thing here, and there's ducts going here.
Yeah.
And they point up to the system, and in fact,
You-
whatever machine thing we put there probably does
You put in the,
pizzas for all we know.
you put in the oven that's actually a fridge.
Right.
So, two questions. One, is it fairly simple now? For some go, right, Davey, that's not a condenser, it's a
Well,
diffuser, and
It-
not a something else.
you look to what you can change. Like you can't change a air handling unit to an air terminal. Like it's under that that mechanical equipment. It's like just trying to change this mechanical equipment to a electrical.
So if we had mechanical equipment,
Change to any
other mechanical
mechanical
I think
equipment.
that's sort of what we did.
That's right.
I think so. Why you can apply changes to families, it depends on the template that was used to create a family. So it is used a field-based template to create a family, so therefore element-based template family
Absolutely.
is interchangeable.
Yeah.
But if it's a sort of interchange between a floor-based
Yeah.
and a ceiling-based, right?
So when they do this, when they do visual confirmation of Wynyard, for instance, you're going to be telling a builder to do it, and may not be like this Blake certainly doesn't know. He would know slightly more than us, but not much. Maybe asking us or wishing him, what is that bit of machinery? And then can guys switch it across and connect it up properly? Can they people now connect and make a system?
Yeah.
Post us stuffing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That's right. But you're saying you've got a family in there and you've just connected ducts up indicatively, like
Yeah.
not hard connected, just
That's correct.
just floating in
yeah.
space close to the
That's
piece of equipment.
correct.
You would basically create a family of that actual equipment with connectors in the right with the connectors like the duct takeoffs, the piping connections, everything that goes with the electrical connections. You connect those that you've drawn in the right space, place, and connect it up. Then you can create a system out of that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'd hate for what we've done to be not used.
Something's not connected, how easy is it to connect it?
To a piece of mechanical equipment.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have it's lined up. It's not connected to that air unit. If I tab it, it's not connected. Oh, it's connected by system. But the connectors there now in the new family, and you just go, okay, there, it's connected. Yeah. And then that will connect it up.
No, man, I got a question about these templates here. Seems like when you're using these templates, there's some issues there. In your follow-up, you have to make drafters saying having an issue with the way you just show us. Now, how the hell you expect a non-drafters to overcome that?
Yeah.
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 Is that something to the template setting, or is have to fix it?
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm not sure who's looking after it now.
If you just show us this justification, it doesn't seem to be working.
I don't know. I might have
to
to.
work.
I should close it and do an audit on it. I don't know why.
All right, just before you go on, see how the equipment is up the top?
Yep.
So
That's
normally,
overlay.
is that because it's beyond?
It's just an underlay. It's an underlay.
It's on the bottom.
I've changed this underlay to level 2, and it's controlled under. It's like if you select the a REVIT architectural and you want it to underlay in your in the background. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, like if you went to your VG overrides underlay, it's the same sort of thing. Just a display override.
But is it different level to the blue stuff?
Yeah, right. That's well, if
It's in fact two levels.
I'm trying to understand that why you've got a dropper going down to that level.
So it's just an easier way to model things on multiple levels and connecting.
They're useful tool for electrical as well. So often you got a electrical cupboard on this floor. You try to show some cable tray coming down from above, but there's no cupboards above. But you see where the cupboards underlay. You can see where the cupboard is.
Or you can locate you might have a piece of duct where you think, and you terminate it where you think the rise is going to be, or where penetration can go to above, and then you can put a lay on and see where it's lining up in the levels above, so that you're not going through through space or something like that, or I don't know. I'm not sure whether you guys use the map properties a lot. Like for instance, you'd use it in lighting if you needed to update a light fitting to a dip. You can select that, and I can change all of these props. So that was two, and that should change the airflow as well. The family type and the airflow.
A piece of mechanical equipment, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
It takeoffs. So that's what you connect your duct to, your chilled water pump, or whatever it is.
Yep.
And is the takeoff dimensions variable, or is that?
Yeah, that's right. No, it's since this is the handling it on the roof. If I go into when here, I'm just going to try and find out where okay, here they've done reference planes, and there's a reference plane in the center. That's the fixed, so that width is or those reference planes split from that line.
Yeah.
And there's a dimension that's attached to a parameter, supply air width. So if we go to the parameter here, supply air 2100. So that's for AHU type 2. I mean, if you change that to 2200, this connector here increases in size, the parameter increases in size. So with this connector, so the duct connector that you're referring to, whether it changes size, I'll leave that, and I'll create one that as if we'll create a family. So create duct connector. You want it on a face. You can do work plane, but face. So any 3-dimension face it will snap to. So here you can say it's a supply air, return air. These are just default sims. So we want it supply air. We know that it's supply air. So this face that it's attached to. At the moment, it's just a random size. It's just random. It's just a input size of. It's got no smarts to it. So that connector is now placed on the, would you say, centroid of that face. Just be when you are putting a connector on, and it has to be in a specific location. Face that is dimensional, like you can have an offset, like in the that left view again. You can see that they've got a supply bottom clearance, so that face or that inset there can be moved up and down. So if I change that supply bottom clearance to 600, face move down, and that connector moves down because that face is attached to that sorry, that is attached to that face. So you can select that connector, and we can hard path these height and width, which is a standard system parameter for those for a duct connector. So
So basically, you're just saying here's
I'm mapping
to plug in a duct. Whatever size duct you plug in, it'll match that.
That's right, yeah. So I'm mapping that connector to our parameters now. So supply width is down here. So, oh, was that right? Oh, I'm sorry, height. Supply height. There we go. Player width. Okay.
So how does it work when you're using that in the project? You put your handle down and you click the tap and go create. It reads height and width from the.
So if I copy that off to the side, height base those width in the duct out to grey out. It's not an instance.
Yeah.
So if I edit the type, that is supply air. Say you had an air handling unit 2-01, and you know that the air handling unit supply, the supply air width is 900, and it's 800 deep, and the clear is 600 from the bottom. That supply air and take off. So you can connect into it, or you can start drawing a duct from it. So if you just select this little supply air symbol, it will create appropriate duct and system from that connector.
What do you have to duct size? That's the connectors.
Yeah, it will. So what I'm saying that if I want to create a duct from there, but actually it is a different size. I want to transition to a different size. Say 600. Seems out.
Right. So whole,
but it's still next size. Yeah.
You've got in your family.
That's right.
What's that size?
Yeah. That's a connector.
Change.
It's fixed.
But then whatever you go to,
it will transition out, and that's where your duct property. You know how I edit the routing preferences. So in this piece of duct here, the routing preference for the transition is 15 degrees.
Yeah.
So like that's a 15 degree. But if I was to, sorry, I'll go back.
There was instance, but when you make adjustments to the family, you map these supply air height and width, for that get matching the duct size. Right.
Sorry, you'd inherit the air handling unit size.
So to make that connectors flexible.
Right, but that's usually a manufacturer specific size.
Okay.
Yeah, your ductwork, you know, you can choose whatever size you want, or what's buildable, or what's in the space.
But is that when you got a transition from a smaller hole to a bigger duct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Does that usually, because every one we saw had a transition on it, but it was normally a big thing just made into a small one. So it obviously, it normally came from a powerful engine.
Yeah.
To go straight away to a smaller.
Yeah, you can do it. It just depends.
I think it'd be the normal thing.
It depends. Yeah.
Now another question. As not a Met guy,
You are.
if I was doing some modelling, that piece of equipment, if you pick that, now look, there's clearly
multiple connectors.
There's not multiple connectors. How do you know what the two connectors on the right do? What
it's a hydronic. Or you can
how do I know what?
I would straight away draw a 50 mil pipe coming out of there.
It's hydronic. It's not because it's I know that it's a hydronic system because it's a mechanical equipment. It's not a hydraulic piece of equipment where it's cold water or hot water. So there's two connectors here. They're chilled water return. They're chilled water supply.
Okay.
That's the type of cooling system it is.
So I'd expect the way that I have a pipe going off somewhere and another one will have to come back.
That's right. And, yeah.
Okay.
And where I right clicked on that connector, it's saying there's two connectors in the enclosed vicinity of each other, and
one in 50 and one was an out 50.
An out 50s, yeah. But it tells you what I think that's the offset. Is that the offset? I think that's elevation that so one's higher than the other. If you know that the supply is lower, or you know one's return and one's supply, so you'll be able to choose which one you want, and that will draw a pipe at that 50 mil, and it will put the right system water supply. And this will be heating water. The same thing because there's two connectors. So basically there's two. One's for the chilled water and one's for the heating water in here. That's common for air handling units. Sometimes they don't have the heating coil, they might just have the cooling coil. If I right click there again and draw a pipe, there's a heating hot water return and heating hot water supply. So you just continue on there like that. And if I enter 3D, you'll see those connectors, two connectors over the top of each other. You can see it in 3D, but not in 2D.
This hydronic is a concern?
Yeah, probably.
Is it like hydraulics or?
No, it just means like a mechanical water system. Mm-hmm.
And
It just means water.
Yeah.
does the hot water normally has an insulation on it? Will it draw the insulation?
Yeah, so you can you add insulation. If you can select it. It's like duct. You can select a duct run and go add insulation or lining. Obviously, with piping, you've only got insulation. You don't have lining.
Yeah.
So you go add insulation, and there's some default ones here. Mineral or whatever. So you can say 40 mil, and then it will put that on there.
Yeah.
And on MUR, that was so difficult to edit any of those insertions or linings. There's templates to make it easier now.
It's a totally different system. I don't think. I'm not sure if. I think MUR used a parameter-based for the installation.
You got to dig it so deep to make changes.
So that's sorry. This is so if I add insulation to that and say 25. See, I changed I've got G2 mil extra insulation in it, and it picks up that hatching, which is based off our filter. So under the mechanical template for documentation. For the documentation, it's got these preset views. So I'll put external insulation on it. If we have a look at external, so anything over 25 mil,
A certain way.
Yeah, here on external 25. I don't think that's correct.
The backlight itself is normally sized based on no linings and no insulation, or is it overall?
Now the duct It's like a movement of the air inside of it, isn't it?
Sorry, I missed that.
The size of the duct is actually, it's 400 by 300.
Yep.
That's actually the dimension of the air.
Airway size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah.
I think you have lining, is that excluded or?
Yeah, so what, so on, if I just remove that, I'm going to take this piece of duct, sorry, I'll just change the type to standard 600 by 600 properties, and it goes 600 by 600. But if we add line and we say 25 mil lining, change
straight away.
yeah. So that fixed in a previous because I think UI didn't show that, did it? There's a
So is that correct or not correct?
yeah, that is correct. That is correct. But you have to be mindful that the duct property here still says 600 by 600. That's a sheet size.
Yeah, that's right.
Sheet metal size. So you go, okay, well, and it's not a matter of just selecting this and changing it. You have to kind of think about, so actually, I do want it 6 by 600 airway size, so we'll do 50 by 650. Because the AutoCAD, we used to just show the air size to draw, and then show a hatching, whether it was internal or external. It wouldn't affect the double line 2 duct.
So what's the actual difference between the linings and insulations?
One's external, one's internal.
In terms of the properties or the waves?
I don't think, I haven't delved into the properties of it. No.
The effects of the airflows, I mean, why engineers choose so-called?
I think it's a matter of, like, do you want to the air temperature within the duct, or do you want to stop external temperatures affecting the airflow inside? Or
being Antarctica.
yeah, and acoustics as well, and also condensation and all that sort of thing.
That's right. Heat either way, can't it?
As a normally.
Yeah.
So now you've got some ducts and some fittings and things. Now you've got access to the full ability to schedule it all, and you're like, yeah, you do take off some how many linear meters of 400 by 400 duct we got?
Oh.
How many?
On wing it. But
You can do all that, yeah? Like,
if you want to know,
well,
Can you schedule it?
most of our jobs,
yeah,
we give the engineers back a ton of just steel in it.
yeah,
We
can.
we schedule it out because
Can't do that. We haven't had to really do that.
So how would they price that? Just by the it?
someone has to do an old-fashioned scale rule measure.
I'm sure the contractor would just do it themselves, and we don't.
I've seen them.
So why aren't we, as a opportunity bonus to them,
Yeah.
we can put a schedule out that tells you the amount of ducting you're going to have. You have not
put more
100,
variability
you're
on
going to
us,
have 300 metres of it, and so
It's incorrect.
How many?
If it's incorrect,
even just to not even just to the cubes, like we not like Rob, we would give them tonnage of steel, but it doesn't allow for a whole batch of stuff.
Yeah.
Say 10% or 15%, but the can go, you know what? It gives a basic tonnage to check. So you know what, we're in the ballpark.
Mm.
So we could say off to the bloke, right, mate, here's what is out of model. You know, here's a plus or minus, whatever you reckon. But here's how many bloody grills we've got. Here's how many bloody light fittings we've got. Here's how many bloody meters of this we've got. Morley.
You can do that.
Because I've seen Sally bloody over there counting fucking sprinkler heads. I'm going, really? You have to count sprinkler heads? But if they're modelled in there, you just go...
You model sprinkler heads, don't you?
I haven't done any fire.
Yeah, you would do, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure, but there's definitely a reason that we never put quantities on our drawings.
It's called CRR.
Insulate. They use services.
Because of REVIT, that being done, so scheduling things are sort of easy now. They might have changed the view on that. But previously, it's like they have the F. You don't to give them a quantity and they can't either more or less.
But you do equipment schedules, don't you?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you pull it out?
Well, that's what I would like to do, yeah, definitely.
Because, ducts, linear length duct work. Equipment, I'm sure, transformers and switchboards and handling units.
When they buy their ducts, they're buying
The problem is
meters.
with I asked this as well. They put their equipment schedules in the specifications.
It doesn't have to go there.
No, but that was a I don't know, it was set by the engineers that they wanted it in there. That's where it resides.
Well, you could link it out.
You could BIM link it out, definitely. That would be all. And then you just have to make sure that it updates.
Because they can put their other shit in there.
Yeah.
And you can pump it back in, all the metal lives in the model.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You need to catch up a bit.
I know.
Like we just, we essentially using BIMlink and scheduling for services stuff we would ever use in structural. And we try to milk stuff out of our structural ones, even just as a preliminary guide to them. Here's a weight tonnage or mass of concrete. Here it is, so you can check some numbers. Come back a lot of times to go, what, we're bloody over budget on this, or we're so far out of ballpark.
It's kilograms of square metre for steel buildings. Like that, they've done so many.
Yeah.
And it's checked to their design.
Yeah. No, I think it's
and then we take it off. It doesn't appear on the final drawings or anything like that.
No, it's just an
but it's
internal
certainly at a preliminary stage or at various stages to check off for lots of people.
Yeah, a lot of checks that we can do. Like for instance, if we, I haven't even gone into mechanical spaces yet. So,
On spaces, to which spaces from the architect's model?
You can copy them.
They use rooms.
I'll just go back then. I'll just show you. I'll give you a brief overview on space. So when basically a space is an enclosed room, and you can wall, yeah, and you can if you want to further subdivide that more, you can use a space separator. But if using those floors as the extend room via the linked architectural file, you've got to make sure that you make room bounding.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll treat it as just there's
nothing.
nothing. No. There's no.
We talk about the full ceilings. If they change their room, and you've harvested your space from a room off a linked file, and they change to screw your space up.
You sometimes like for instance on an open floor plan, like for instance our office here, we wouldn't be, our spaces wouldn't be a copied version of their rooms because we subdivide our spaces up more than their rooms.
Yeah.
Like if
all of that
we have a perimeter or
one room.
Yeah, if we want a perimeter zone, we want to separate it in accordance with the mechanical system. For instance, just here we've got a perimeter zone I'll tell you why. If I put in a space, it will whole room as one space, but I want a perimeter zone here, a perimeter space, and an internal zone here.
I assume the perimeter space, because so many, in your workshop for so many metres, you're going to lose and gain heat.
Well, they want a higher airflow
By the windows.
there's more heat gain on the window, on the facade, so then we'll do like what offset it splits that space there. So the space here now, then I'll add another one in, and we can say this is a perimeter zone.
Right.
Oh, it's very, isn't it?
And within that zone now, it gives me supply air. So those 4 diffusers are populating this this space here with 800 litres a second.
In that model, how does it know where to put the top of that?
I'll do a second. You can't see spaces in 3D views, so you can only see them in section.
Will be,
Yeah, you have to see and remember that.
I'll try.
yeah,
Ceiling there. That's the ceiling.
Yeah, I know, but that was our ceiling, so I'll just show you what you have to do. Spaces.
Set it up.
So that's rated that ceiling as a capped off.
Yeah, okay.
So the extent of the space is up to this next level, but they're capped off by this ceiling.
Right.
If I brought that down,
That's it for
so to know when you've got multiple level, like if that was an atrium or something, if that was an atrium, you'd that going right up to the top.
Yeah, and it would
Yeah, that would enclose, like that would treat that one as space, that as a continue up through multiple levels.
space, if it had multi-level ceilings, it would be multi-ceiling
and you'd
space.
want that offset to be the highest point, of
yeah.
that step ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, sorry, does it automatically calculate going next level? Does it automatically calculate in 3D that space?
Does it work?
So if you've got an atrium up here,
Yeah, it won't. You'll have to force it to go up to that higher level. Is that what you mean?
yeah, you automatically went from ground floor to level 1.
Yeah. If atrium.
And it was an atrium, would it know level 2?
No, it wouldn't. You would have to force it to. It just automatically
knows
to go to the next level.
Right, it just goes to the next level.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as there's a ceiling somewhere at that level, that would stop there, even though
To the level, yeah, and it'll cap off at that.
So in architectural then, because we're just having this conversation with Cox, their rooms in, want them to put zones in.
No.
No point.
We can, if I go back to the plan, you place spaces automatically, and it will pop rooms with spaces, and you can go into your add-ins, and you can go, where is it? It might be extensions. You might not need the naming utility where it will pick up the architect's room, and it will bring data across to your space, like the room name and the room number.
Oh, nice. And then
it's like a coffee monitor, but it does it in one instance.
And where you add your extra zones in their rooms, you just have a little stuff. So it'd be room R3, A, R3, B, or or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's great, Luke.
Okay.
Very good. Very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, just one more thing, like with spaces, you an actual air, an air specified airflow.
Not that one.
It's not working.
Oh,
Mate, when
sorry.
Baz says time's up, 5 minutes.
Sorry, he's got a button under the table. You got a specified airflow. That's what the engineer should calculate. They'd say, okay, well that space has is 1,200 litres a second. That's a value there.
REVIT's making sure you haven't got enough offices.
Well, and that's where you do a schedule, and it will you can do a conditional format where it highlights that actual supply flow parameter and say, hey, this isn't matching up with the specified airflow. That's just that I'd like to use for engineers.
And can those,
If it updates, if they do a calculation down the track, it's actually that perimeter, and that should be 2 litres a second. It will hide in the schedule. Yeah.
can you pre-load those types of schedules, like Baz
Yeah,
put those schedules in our template so that all our stew weights and all those
I do have it on.
in the
I have put it in.
which is more not irrelevant.
Yeah,
But it
that's right.
should have. Oh, shit, actually, I can get that out of it.
Could you just prepare maybe less buggy version of that to do it, to, 4 weeks or so?
Yep.
Because it was such a pity that a lot of that shit didn't work.
Yeah.
I'd love to see those ducks sort of readjust.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah.
So maybe it's the new template, maybe it's 15 or something. Just to do it in another 4 weeks. So,
Yep.
but with a slightly less buggy file. Thanks, mate.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. That was really interesting.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Well done, Jake.
At least you know.
See you guys.
You're a hand or you're good?
Yeah, I'll be right, man.
I'll unplug you from here anyway.
Alright, cheers.
Looks like I'm sign off with that free